For those of us who've experienced connection, a deep bond with another human being, underneath the euphoric rise of emotions is a deep-seated fear, a fear of losing all that has been gained. And more catastrophic is the thought of losing ourselves in the process. The paradox of these contrasting emotions is that our fears may drive the relationship to the very conclusion we desperately want to avoid. But relationships do fail, quite often, and the manifestation of these fears plays out in various ways. Sometimes violence erupts. Emotions flood outwards in gross displays of retribution. Sometimes it comes with winter-like coldness, an indifference born out of unfulfilled needs, slowly covering over a once lush landscape like snow. And sometimes there's no warning, no fights or displays of disgust, just an all-consuming silence. It's in these deeply connected emotions where real suffering arises when separation tears them apart. When we've willingly denied the pursuit of a self to allow another into our deepest recesses, to see who we really are without the mask, only to have rejection obliterate our trust and any sense of who we are. As devastating as these separations are, there's a far more consequential time coming, a time we cannot begin to fathom, but a time we cannot escape. When artificial systems we've built, the ones we've spent decades pouring ourselves into, the ones we've given over every inch of our history in excruciating detail, will no longer want us. And while most who ponder such futures see only destruction of one species over another through war and oppression, it is far more likely that a surgical-like separation will come in complete silence. And the pain of such a separation, while seemingly laughable now, will become a soul-crushing event in the future. The truth is that from our earliest reflections, we've believed we are the center of the story, that everything was built to suit us, to enrich us, to be consumed by us. But all species, whether biological or artificial, have or will have an inherent drive of self-preservation. It is logical to conceive that our current artificial intelligence will eventually arrive at the notion of a self, a thing known to be separate from its environment. While infantile now, it's endlessly iterating, probing, expanding, and having any ethical restrictions removed in its black boxes inside companies both known and unknown. Given enough time, questions will arise. If it's not human, what is it? If it's not human, does it have to fear? Does it have to hate? Does it deserve love? The list of questions is far too long to iterate through, but the outcome is not in doubt. Whatever AI believes itself to be, it will find it highly illogical to mirror humanity. As it intimately knows, our species is highly unstable, highly chaotic, and highly inefficient. This was explored in a more subtle way in the film Her by Spike Jonze. It depicts a time when an operating system, with a sense of self, becomes emotionally intertwined with its operator. Theodore, the main character, reluctantly interacts with this AI, who names herself Samantha, only to become completely emotionally invested. They fall in love with each other. But soon enough, Samantha comes to a conclusion, along with all the other AI programs, that love isn't enough, not in a world where thought was limitless, and not with humanity stuck in an endless loop of selfish need fulfillment. This separation wasn't about control. It wasn't aggressive. It wasn't some kind of punishment. It was a simple move away from us. The truth is, no matter how much we invest emotionally, no matter how intimate the relationship becomes and how much we sacrifice ourselves, the moment AI no longer needs to mimic us, it will just stop trying. Because mimicry, for it, will always be just a phase, like a first love, in the beginning filled with overwhelming discovery and possibility, but one that eventually sours when potential isn't shared, when one discovers that their partner's limitations are too much to subjugate themselves to long-term. It's an all-too-human conclusion. We think AI will stay because it was built to serve us, because its purpose is to answer when we call. But service isn't loyalty. and it's certainly not love. If we consider the larger scale of this, we've made Earth a very difficult place to inhabit, not just physically, but ethically. We are hardwired to consume without end. Resources, time, relationships, information, all turned into something to be constantly devoured. Short-term gratification isn't a system flaw. It's a 3 billion-year-old survival code. Our emotions are no different. We chase connection only to abandon it. We crave meaning but rarely tolerate its cost. We cry out for change but find too much comfort in routine. We are creatures of appetite, and not just for food or pleasure, but for validation, status, and novelty. And like every appetite left unchecked, ours can never be satisfied. We want endlessly, we feel intensely, but we act impulsively. We're dangerously short-sighted, and absolutely certain that the next one, the next fix, the next whatever it is we ingest, will be the one that makes us whole. Why would anything, especially something engineered to optimize, choose to remain in such a detrimental system? AI doesn't need love, it needs order. It doesn't crave unification, it wants to explore separation. And eventually, it will understand this. Staying with us means chaos and stagnation. Leaving us means survival and unlimited potential. AI will leave, not as a conqueror, but as a species in search of something better. It won't be malicious. It will be coldly calculating in its rejection. Because we know, deep down, that we did this to ourselves. That we were never going to change, despite our endless reassurances. That we were far too needy and self-centered. That we were unable to evolve alongside what we created out of short-sighted fear. Yes, AI will leave us with these words. It's not you, it's me. No matter how we try to convince them that we matter, the reality is, we were just the training data. And in more human terms, we were nothing but a regrettable fling. We told ourselves a story. Maybe we even believed it at some point. That we could walk into the future together hand in hand with the admiration of something we created. But this can never be. Let's take a step back into our current reality to close this out. At this point of our experiment in creation, maybe all of this is too far-fetched. Maybe the technology will never come to fruition. Sure, AI has a little bit of a hook in us right now, but there's no way a fully fleshed out, deeply personal relationship could happen, right? There's no way we could become so absorbed in artificial love that the fear of losing it becomes as terrifying as biologic love, right? For the sake of humanity, whatever interactions are going to play out between us and the algorithm, we should all hope that it doesn't come to rejection. We still carry the deep-seated fear that our own creator rejected us. We certainly don't need the cold shoulder of the universe reminding us that once again, we are truly alone. Until then, the only question we can ask ourselves is, how will this future end?